Hello and welcome to Euro Truck Simulator 2 with me, Kevin Sawyer. Hope you guys and girls are all well and enjoying your day, whatever you're up to. Right, as you can see, we are driving the Ford F-Max, which is a Wilco, pretty much. Although it doesn't look like an Wilco. Some people say it looks a bit like a Scania. I can see what they mean on this back end here. Definitely here, around about here, definitely looks more Scania-ish. Round here it looks a bit Volvo-ish, especially down here as well. That looks kind of Volvo-ish as well, along there and along there. This top bit looks a bit daffish, if you know what I mean. So I'd say it's a kind of a hodgepodge of maybe all of them put together. But as we all know, you can't get Ford trucks anymore. Most of them are Vicos, because that's the Ford, just with a different badge with it on it. But as you can, guys and girls can see, you can see that the details are quite good on the outside. There is a few problems here, aspects to steps that don't actually exist. Well, they're there, but there's no actual footwell in the back of that, like you would find on a proper truck. A little kickstand at the back to stop you from slipping off that, because if you just perch your foot on that, you'd slip quite easy. You can still quite slip easy on a foot plate, but you know what I mean. But let's go and jump inside it so you guys can see the insides. Actually looks very nice on the inside. Actually, it kind of reminds me of driving my dad's Dagenham dust cart. I'm allowed to say that because my dad owned one and that's what I call them. That's what they are to me, Dagenham dust carts. They don't make them anymore. I don't even think they've assembled the engines there, if I remember rightly. I think it's all been closed up now, but I could be wrong. Anyway, going off topic here. As you can see, the interior looks very nice, very well detailed. The mirrors are a bit of a strange thing. I don't know if they're based off the real truck, if it does exist. I don't think it does, but I don't know. They just look a bit weird. Kind of remind me of looking through a porthole of a steam train. Do you know what I mean? When you're looking through the front window on a steam train, you just kind of glint through it. It's a bit like I'd say it's a bit like a fisheye view on that. It's very difficult to kind of get it lined up where you want it. But apart from that, it's quite nice. Let me just fire it up so you guys can hear it. It inside. I've got it in gear. Oh, it's because it's in auto, isn't it? There you go, got it out of gear now. There we go. Even though I had it out in neutral, it's still sending us in gear. Shut it back off. Let's go on the outside view. On idle, I find it runs a bit high, if you ask me. It sounds a bit like a taxi or regular just diesel engine. It doesn't sound like a truck engine. Again, I don't know if they've used real engine sounds for this or ones they've managed to synthesize. I don't know if Creech Bums had any sort of influence on the sounds, but the sort of mid-range to high end sounds pretty good, and when the engine's returning back down to 0 RPM, the roll down, it sounds pretty good. It's just the idle sounds a bit... doesn't seem to match it, if you ask me. Right, I'll show you where it's one. Well, of course there'll be links down below for you guys to download this for yourself and have a go on for yourself. It's not straightforward, just download it and throw it straight into your mod folder. However, it's one of those ones you have to unpack, then re-zip into an SCS format. If you guys and girls want me to do a tutorial on how to do that, please ask. But if not, if you already know how to do that, then just go ahead, you know what you're doing. If you can't wait until I release a video, there's plenty of videos out on YouTube explaining how to do that. But I can do one if people want me to do one. Anyway, once you have downloaded it and installed it, you'll find, like I say, there's two mods you need to download on the website. One's for the truck and one's for the dealer itself. If you just download the truck or download the dealer, you won't see the truck. Or if you just download the truck, you won't see the truck. If you download the just the dealer, you won't see the truck. Either way, you'll see what I mean. If I actually go out of here to show you guys and girls what I mean, and go into Mod Manager. These two. So you look out for the Ford Trucks F-Max and the Ford Trucks Max Dealer. Just make sure you've got them both downloaded, and then unpack them, then repack them into an SCS file format, and it should work. If it doesn't, then you make a mistake. Let's go back in here. But once you have downloaded them and done the necessary work to get them working, you might want to know how to purchase them. Bear with a second as my game loads back in. Anyone else had the problems with Steam since the update? My game takes twice as long to load now. It never used to. It was never a quick thing, but it used to load relatively quickly. The only one thing I have noticed, if you click the specific one for your specific setup, it loads a little bit quicker. Not much, but a little bit quicker. Anyway, I digress. So, wrong button. If we go, actually, if I show you my setup first. So here's my setup and what I've got on it. You're going to find it very limited. This is version 1 of this. Obviously, if you're watching this at a later date and there's a newer version available, aspects and features may have changed, so please bear that in mind. But if you go to truck dealers and then go to authorized mod dealers, you should find it here. In fact, there's that's the EVCO, but here in the Ford setup. So obviously there's only one model available at the moment, so customize configuration. No, customize configuration, thank you. There's only one cab available, which is a sleeper. Again, there might be future versions of this available when they work on do a bit more work on it. There's there's 3 types of chassis, but they change. Look, you got they're all 4x2 configuration, but they're just different options on the 4x2s. So you got the 4x2 lowered. You wouldn't want to use that as a working truck. You'd just use it as a show truck, I'd say, when you're having a load like that. That's my personal opinion. Some may say I'm wrong, but yeah, that's my personal opinion. Anyway, and then you've got the 4x2 standard with 1 tank removed. You get a spare tyre, and then you get the 4x2 with 2 tanks. I would, if I were you, would lean towards the double tank. Just gives you more fuel capacity, but that's just my personal opinion. Your choices are your choices. Engines, only the one was the Euro 5 engine. Or was that Euro 6? Yeah, the Euro 6, engine, which is only 500 brake horse. Some people can sit there and go, that's not very powerful, but it does pack a punch, and I'll go into that once we start driving. 1 transmission only, 12 speed. with retarder. Again, let's hope that they allow for extra mods or more mods come out to work with this mod. 3 types of interior. You get this one, which is, I think basically all it does is change the size of the screen here, so it's small screen, GPS small, and then GPS multimedia. So basically it's just a small standard sort of like GPS there, and then it's a small GPS there, I believe, which is slightly larger than the standard, and then the multimedia screen, I believe. Right, as for colour options, you've got a few, far and few between. It comes with a couple of its own, at least 3. I noticed there's a bit of a bug here with the colour options, but again, you can play about with it. I think they may have just got the colour orientation a bit wrong, but because it looks a bit odd. I think they should have had this here and that there, if you know what I mean. But again, you can just change it out to however you like. Again, personal preference, up to you. You can have that skin if you want. Same problem with this one. Again, this one's just one standard colour. You can just change it to whatever you like. And then this one again is like the same colour problem as the top one. It's got those mixed around. I think the wrong way around. I could be wrong. But again, doesn't matter. You can just change however you like it. You can have it whatever colour you work. All the colours actually do change and work. So if I do that and then go over to this one, you can see it does change that as well. And then obviously you just got your chrome colours, regular, and then whatever you want to colour it as well. And next, options. There are a few dots here, but there's not many options for most of this. You'll find number plates. You can have your own custom number plates. You can sort of like change it to whatever you prefer. Now you've got 2 types of lights. You've got the standard stock lights, and then you've got the xenon lights. Xenons do look nice on it, and I don't think there's any difference in brightness. Let's have a quick look. Standard xenons. In real life, the xenons would be a fair amount brighter because I think they're LED, but don't quote me. Anyway, you've only got 2 types of grille type. Well, surround, I'd say, which is white, and then I think what they've done is they've kind of pinched the Renault T little idea there with this aspect of this. It's a shame it wasn't colour changeable, so you could either have it so it's matching your truck, or you can have it so it's a bit more in your face, but you can have it like this, and so it sticks out a bit. If I show you the top half, same with the story of the top half, if we stick that on the white, it gives it a different look. It may float your boat, it may not. I just think they've kind of borrowed that idea maybe off the Renault T, but don't quote me on that. Obviously you can stick your, it does work for these C-Cell mods. That's all fine and dandy. Up here you've only got 2 types of sun shield with that official. I think you can customize that. Once you download the mod, it gives you a instructional or readme file. It tells you what to do, and it does come with skins as well, which I didn't bother with, admittedly. I just thought I'd show the chuck as is. You've only got 2 types of roof bar, which is narrow and slightly wider. It's a shame there's no dots around here, just so then you can actually put horns on. But you can still stick the horns on the front here. It's just going to look a bit like a Dalek. That's the only downside. If I stick one on just a demonstration, as you can see, it does work with some of the mods already. Other mods may vary, but as you can see, it stick a horn on it. It looks a bit like a Dalek, but it does you can put extra beacons on if you wish, or you can just put a small set of horns on so it doesn't look so outlandish. It does work with the DLC if I can find it. Where are ya? There. So the Goodyear DLC, it does work with that. It's Goodyear Michelin, sorry, DLC. And then, however, if you go over to here, the roof is a bit weird. It doesn't step up like you expect it to. Now, how does this go? So that's low, that's mid, or is that's low, that's slightly higher than low, that's mid, that's high, and that's super high. It's a bit weird how it's configured. Again, just choose what you best. I noticed this one here, so it doesn't immediately appear, but you can have a forward max interior light if you really want one, or you can have beacons. Again, personal preference. If you want the beacons like that they don't look too bad. They just look a bit, even the bigger ones probably better, to be honest. They've kind of fit more in with that whole setup. Again, personal preference. It's your personal preference anyway. Tyres, it will work with all your standard Michelin and Goodyears together, and all your standard in-game stuff. Also may work with some mods. Give it a try. Again, Reels and Whims works with all your standard stuff, possibly some mod ones. As for Nuts, again, works with all the in-game stuff, perhaps some mods. Hubs does work with all the in-game stuff, perhaps mobs, and that again, same situation applies. Does work with all that. There's no options to change the footwell. There is only one option of mirror. I don't, they must be working on sort of future content for this, because why do you put the dots in if you weren't doing that? It does work with the flags DLC if you've got that, so, or the mods if you've got them. Round on the side here, you can actually stick side skirts on if you wish, if that's your thing. Don't see any exhaust ports though, it's a bit weird, and I don't see anything coming out the back. The only thing I can assume is it comes underneath. It is remotely possible. Same story for the back, again, works with all that, as you can see. So let's grab stuff at random, doesn't necessarily match. There we go. And there we go. See, it all works with that. There is an option, so it doesn't immediately appear. You have to kind of swing around the right angle. As you can see, it's around about here. It's just above, floating above the fifth wheel, and that brings up the back mud flaps. And also, if memory serves me right, is this one down here. If you select that one, because again, you see it disappears when you're around this side, and you think, oh, there's no options. You have to just get the angle just right, just around about there to about roughly there, and then that brings up the back mud flaps. And you can have two. You can have just standard plastic, or you can have the hazards on the back. As for interior options, it does work with the Seesaw mods, so if you've got them installed, it will work with them. It just, you get that problem, so I wouldn't recommend it. It just looks a bit weird, and it doesn't matter what you try. Other mods may work with it, but for the time being, you're probably better off just using the standard in-game wheel. There's no options other than that one, which is a bit of a disappointment. It does work with the DLC stuff as well as the Seesaw stuff as well, and then obviously it comes back to the interior extras. You can put GPS on here on his side as well. Again, if you select certain ones, it appears in certain ways. I don't know if that's a raising one or not. It doesn't look like one. This looks like a slightly smaller one. Let's have a quick look. yeah, it just looks like a slightly similar than that version. Again, personal preference. Up here, you can actually put your dots in. It doesn't actually allow for the event DLC. It does allow for some event DLC, but not all event DLC. So it's got Steam stuff there. If I come back out here and just go down here. Just quickly, just narrow this down. If I get rid of that mod and that mod, just to narrow it down. Yeah, no, I don't see it here. I don't see any of the pink ribbon event, and I have completed that. I have completed that. Same situation up here. It does allow for the Michelin and the Krone stuff, as you can see. Look, Krone's on here, so is the Michelin. But it doesn't allow for the event stuff. Apart from the Goodyear, that appears. So you get the Goodyear DLC or the event stuff, so that all appears on there. But it's disappointing. It doesn't allow for the other stuff. The Cecil stuff does work here if you've got it enabled. So re-enable it all. Get it all there, as you can see. And then down on the deck, you can stick whatever down there if you want to do bug roll, cold pizza. And you can have, again, passengers if you so wish, or you can just throw a bag or whatever, a clipboard there. The back wall, you can actually put the Griffin stuff on if again you wish, that's your thing. And again, it works with the Cecil stuff as well. It looks a bit weird though, as you see it's sort of like slightly doesn't sit, it's like kind of facing out, it's like sloped. Nothing on the other than that. That concludes that. The mirror options over here, I may have missed that. There's only one mirror on that as well, and that's the flag options. And I think there's only one option, and that you can't get rid of it. That more or less covers all the dots. Let's get this thing on the. Let's get the show on the road, shall we? And I'll tell you how it's like to drive. Come back in cab. Okay guys, sorry about that. The game crashed. As I let it show you that, just it crashed into that. As you saw it, game just literally just blanked out and crashed. Now I don't know if it's this mod that's causing that, or whether it's the latest update that the game's had, or Steam has had, because I've noticed a lot of my stuff now has been playing up since the Steam update, and I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, let's jump back in cab. Jump back in cab, thank you. Let's do that. Reset track IR again, and then
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle. Just kidding. Let's hit the road.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your cycle's motor. Don't you mean motorcycle? No, I've got a perfectly good bike frame. I just need a new engine. Right. Anyway, ooh. As you can see, the physics is quite good. It's well planted actually for a 4x2 configuration, because I was really going nuts with this the other day, and it stayed on the road pretty well. I wouldn't want to go really nuts with it, like go full out around the sort of like a very tight turn, especially with a load like this on. But
Turn left.
It does react. In fact, what I'll do is I could have done it on that bit of road. There might be another bit of road coming up, perhaps. See? Try and get in front of the truck so you can see it better. Does have full physics. Things I do in the name of entertainment, mate. And actually, like I said earlier about the details on the inside the cab, they actually look quite good. Now, you know, when I look at this cluster here, I just think I'm right driving my dad's you know, Dagwin dust cart and that. Dagwin? You know what I mean. Let's
Ahead. Turn left.
reset that. It's playing up now.
Turn left.
Get out of this junction. As you can see, it pulls quite well, and I've had heavier on this. I've had a big yacht on this. I haven't tried any of the super heavy stuff yet, like from the DLC, admittedly, but it seems to pull quite well. One thing I probably would recommend, I haven't got it in manual, as you can see I've got that up. No, I don't want that up. I don't need that up. Come on, mirrors, go away. Thank you. One thing I probably would recommend is if you've got the option to drive manual, you may find it better to drive in a manual, especially when you're hitting a hill, because I find it's alright on a sharp hill, but if it's on a slow descent hill, it just doesn't change down soon enough for what I prefer. It'll just sit there in the gear and in the gear and the gear, and you have to sort of like let the thing really struggle before it'll shift down. But it handles quite well, actually. No real major complaints on aspects to handling. For you guys that watch this and used to watch Fernbus, you should. I've got some good news for you guys and girls. I actually purchased Tourist Bus when it was on sale. It was, and it worked out well. It's about 18 quid just for the game, and I did bought a couple of extra DLCs as well.
Human.
So keep your eyes peeled for that.
Exit here.
With respect to fuel consumption, now your mileage may vary depending if you've got more mods reference to fuel consumption, but I'm just under half a tank, and that's since I've had this truck new, and as you can see the mileage I've done in it. It's not bad going for a Ford, for a Dagenham dust cart. As I call them. People are going to hate me for saying that, but that's what I always call them. But it's not bad for a Ford. Fords are normally typically quite thirsty. So like Vicos, they used to be quite thirsty when I used to work on them, but the only one complaint I found was with the wheel. Look, you have to get the wheel almost all the way round before the indicator cancels itself out. If you just turn slightly, it doesn't cancel itself out. You have to kind of do that before it would do that. It's caught me out a couple of times, and it can get a bit annoying because on the stock games you more or less just turn it that way, and that way it's more or less cancels itself out. Not on all trucks, but most of the trucks you find. Like out here, I'll pull out here, and it won't turn itself off. I have to turn it off manually. But my dad's Ford's quite similar to that actually, so I'm wondering if they based it off of an actual Ford. You have to move the wheel around quite, not as extreme, but it does have quite a fair lockout on it, where it turns itself off. As for, so I say, pulling power, it's quite good. It will get you there. It's just if you're on a slight ascent, one of those like ones that you wouldn't actually call a massive hill, but it's a slow, gradual ascent, you just find it will start to struggle around the 40-mile-an-hour mark, and you just won't find it won't go much faster, and it won't downshift. Retarder works okay. No major complaints with that. Horns, lights will work. There are two types of horns. You get that one, and then that one. Again, personal preference, and if you stuck air horns on it, it may change one of them. May. Yeah, see what you mean? I'm on a slight incline now, and it's just struggling to pull up to past 40. It get there, it just takes a bit of time. This is where I wish I could just give it whoops, going too quick. Just give it a quick shift down and back up again. Again, I haven't got my sim dash set up because the light's poor. At this point, just setting it up, and I thought you guys would benefit from seeing the whole cab for a change. I know he's going to pull out in front of me. Ooh, well done, mate. Well done. So, you guys may be thinking, would I use this again? Yes, I would. I would drive it again. It's actually alright to drive. For a 4x2 configuration, it's not bad to drive at all. And the power is there, although it can, like I say, be a bit sluggish around the 40 mark. But the power is there to get you up most hills or out of trouble. Let me do an external shot if I can, or the external engine sounds again. If I go down through the years a little bit. Right. Got a truck right beside me or something. Yeah, another truck. MAN, but that's it. There's still that whole debate of some people call it MAN, some people call them MAN. Either way works for me. What's the speed here? That's 50. Right. I'm just under that, so turn the lights back out. Whoops, I'm drifting. Turn the lights on before we go back through the tunnel. There we go. Wipers do work. Whoops, drifting again. You get all the options for those, and they do actually clear the weather as well. I just had some rain just before I started doing the recording, and they do work. But I think I'll leave it at that, peeps. I hope you guys and girls enjoyed the episode. I would really appreciate 10 likes for my like goal. But again, no guns to your head. But on my like goal for this video is 10 likes. So, but if you did enjoy it, please don't forget to like. If you did enjoy it for any reason at all, please feel free to dislike. Leave comments down below either way, so at least then I know how to improve in future. If you know anyone else that may also enjoy watching this, guys and girls, please feel free to share. It helps me out a lot, and I don't mind you sharing. And if you're new to my channel, see future episodes of this or anything else I'm working on, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you're aware as soon as I upload a new video. I'll see you in the next one. TTFN.